Nice.
How you doing, Claudio?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. The sign says we break bread, so my good friend, we break bread. So grab a donut hole if you'd like.
Donut holes.
Yes.
My kids, when they were little, we called them dodos.
There you go, man.
Dodos.
There you go. All right. So we are officially here at TCCA, largest free EdTech conference. And actually, you're the first guest.
Hey, very cool.
My plan is to get as many just 5-10 minute interviews.
Bright and early.
Yeah, bright and
Oh,
early.
man.
We're going to watch it's going to get romantic as we're watching the sunset as we speak.
7 o'clock, or they let people in at 6:45. This is the earliest at any conference.
I know. And not only that, but the expo.
And there's already a ton of people.
It's crazy, yeah. So I'm actually glad I'm in this little area. So how you been, man?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Good. Enjoying.
What's new with Claudio?
Man, I think it's just continuing what I've been doing. I would say anything much new, like just rolling, continuing creating content. Obviously, the work that I'm doing with Adobe now, and it's been enjoying it. Still have some, I would say personal goals that that still wanted to get done.
Yeah.
So I was in the process of setting up like a YouTube type class for people to take, and that's still a dream.
Would you call it like a master class?
Like a type of master class, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. And what platform?
Well, it'd be like for YouTube, you mean, or
through what platform?
Yeah, through YouTube, or through what platform? That's still debate. That's still up in the air. I know several. I know there was Teachable out there, and I use Squarespace for my website, and they have like some built-in ones as well. Okay. So I don't remember what that one was called. I think they might have teamed up, but I was looking at Teachable and just a bunch of other ones. So
cool, man. So how are things with Adobe?
Doing great, man. Going well. Enjoying it. I can't complain.
Nice. So you're doing a heck of a lot more traveling now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little busier. The good thing is the kids are older, so it makes it easier than. Daughter's at UT in Austin, and so she's not home. My son's he's still at home, but he works pretty much most of the week. So, but yeah, they'll miss me. I saw my daughter on the way down to here. Did a little pit stop in Austin to see her, and she still misses me. So that's good.
That's always good.
Even though they're 18 and over. So
now you're a content creator. And obviously you got picked up to work for Adobe, but, people out there, including myself, we create content. When did you decide to go from, because there was a point where you literally went from like 0 to 100.
Yeah.
When did you realize that you just wanted to go all in on the YouTube thing? And what did you do to set yourself up for success? So if you had advice for people, what is that advice who want to be content creators?
I would say I've always been a content creator since, being a kid. Pretending, doing some fantasy type things, like we would pretend we were filming our own movies, newscasts, and, recreating Star Wars scenes with the toys. Didn't have cameras at the time, but as I got older, I was always into photography, capturing video, taking photos. So I think I've always had that, but then I would say somewhere around 2017, I've been using like Photoshop for like forever. So like when you used to have floppy disk and stuff like that. And so
you just dated us, man.
And then CDs and then stuff, and then it went subscription based. But I would say that for me, like the impetus moment, 2017, that's when I started my channel, and it was basically like, hey, I'm gonna start just like posting videos of like cycling.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say probably 2016, because I post videos of cycling. So they didn't have GoPros then. They had, they're like some
flip.
type. The flip. And then they had all these little tiny type of motion capture type or
action cameras.
Action cameras, but they were 720 resolution. They were terrible.
Yeah, they were horrible.
And so
and jittery.
Yeah, and
real
grainy.
Jittery.
So it was like it was not even worth it. I remember buying some knockoffs and putting in onto my helmet. So, and it was just to try to just remember when I would cycle. But then I was like, well, let me start a different. I started that was one channel. And then I started my I Am Claudius channel, 2017. And I was like, well, let me post some how-tos. So, then I started diving into Adobe, Spark.
At the time.
And it was Adobe Slate, which was Page. And then there was Adobe Clips. So these are some of the first generation type of Adobe mobile apps for creating content. So I just started posting it and then sharing it. And I was like, oh, if somebody watches it, cool. If somebody does not, cool. My intent was just to put it out there.
Yeah.
And at TCCA, I think it was 2018, I posted something on Twitter. I started getting into Twitter back then.
Yeah.
And a good friend, Jamie Donnelly.
Shout out to Jamie.
Yeah. She was like, I posted something and it went pretty, I wouldn't say viral, but it got a lot of traction at TCA. And then she came up to me at some point there. She said, Claudio, oh my gosh, that did you see that tweet that you posted? I'm like, no, I posted it.
Yeah.
Go take a look. It's got a ton of views and stuff. And so I pulled it up. I was like, oh, very, very neat. And then she goes, you need to be sharing more of your content. And I was like, yeah, I should. And so I started posting more. Now the funny thing, this is a long story, but I'm gonna keep it short. And I went to South by Southwest that year, 2017. I'm probably messing up on my dates. Probably 2017.
The sun's the sun's barely coming out.
Yeah,
so you got to pass.
Yeah,
You're
okay,
good.
cool. And so in South by Southwest, they had this live karaoke band, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and let me get on stage. Nobody's here that I know anyway, so I'd never done karaoke. And I'm a musician. I play drums. I'm always on stage, but I've never done karaoke. That was my first karaoke. It was Hotel California.
Okay.
Longest guitar solo at the end. I just stood up there while they were pretending, while they were playing guitar. But anyways, I was like, man, that felt pretty good. I don't know why I didn't do that years ago. So that was really and I was like, I should have done all the stuff that I've been planning to do. I don't know why I waited. So really that was the impetus for moving forward, and it's I'm going to start just going full on and doing this, because I wasn't posting videos every week. It was once a month, 8 weeks or so. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to start getting consistent with this thing. And never was my goal it was never about making money on it. But it's I'm just going to start sharing the content that I create and teaching others how to do it. Yeah. That's basically how I love to teach. I love helping others share their stories. And that was the point. And I just went gangbusters with that. And, fast forward years ahead, opportunities arose from that. It's funny. I get emails from all these different companies. Hey, review our product. Hey, we have this gaming chair, or we have this game. And I was like, I'm not a gamer type person. So I filter this stuff out to basically because I want to make sure that my audience, be authentic. Because it would be hey, check out this game. And I'm not a gamer,
So, authenticity.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was microphones, lights, and things like that. And the cool thing is I get to keep the stuff, and then I'll either give it away or, depending on how expensive the gear is. This one's a little more. I might just discount this and sell it or something like that. So that was the moment. So you're out there contemplating, creating content, and you're like, I don't know, just do it.
Press record.
Press record. Get started. Don't hesitate. And that's the thing and then later on, for myself, I'm like, if I'd only started sooner. But I'm also a believer of things happening at the right time. So
when they're supposed to happen.
So so it's all good. It all worked out. But again, even then, just start. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. And we get that thing, that imposter syndrome, where we're like,
Yes.
you're like, am I good enough? Can I?
If I follow their blueprint
Yeah.
and their template
Yeah.
and their routine, then I'll be successful.
Yeah, and so it's good to have, like, because I followed a ton of YouTubers and photographers and videographers and creators, and you know, you steal, you borrow, you remix, and that was, and then you start to I would say, you find your voice, you find your niche, and then you roll with it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like, you know, there's so many products out there, so many tools, and you know, it's great. Like, you become a utility type player. I'm a little baseball analogy, and so you're doing well on everything, but then you find that one, and then stick with that one. Become the superstar on that one,
In your own lane.
in your own, yeah, and then, like, and that's what happened to me. It's like, people, hey, you're the Adobe guy. I was like, it just cracked. That was before I even worked with Adobe. Like, you're the Adobe guy. You're the one that does this, and it was just because I found, you know, I enjoyed the tools. And again, it's make sure that what you enjoy and what you share, you really are passionate about.
Yeah. Don't try following the money, or don't try following what everyone else is doing, because you're going to fall into that imposter syndrome. And then it's funny that you said you were talking about the imposter syndrome and the hesitation. There's a saying that I use all the time. It's I use it so much I already forgot it, man. It's too damn early. Paralysis by analysis.
Oh, okay.
I need to do this. I need to do that. And you're so engulfed in the logistics that you forget what you're doing. I'm doing this to create content. I haven't created any content because I'm so worried about all these other things. So there's paralysis by analysis, and then there's also I'm going to be honest. I kind of fell into this too with video content. I should have just set up an iPhone years ago and started creating content, video content. And I'd like to get, and I think I talked to you about this maybe about a year and a half ago when I first reached out to you, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on a camera. I'm thinking about the Canon M50, maybe the Sony ZV-E10 or what have you. And then you told me you've got you primarily use a Fujifilm, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So for a year and a half at least a year and a half of wanting to do video content, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then finally I turned around, and my wife, Erica, I love you, God bless you, you and the kids. My wife has always been my biggest supporter, and my kids have always been my biggest supporters. And it finally dawned on me, because I was trying to save up to buy like a $1,200 camera. And I thought, why? I could pick up, I got these two cameras for not that much. Later on down the road, when I start getting better, I can always upgrade. But I need to press record on video at some point. And I'm really into the live stuff. I'm kind of done with virtual recordings and that, and talking heads. So I want this.
Now that we're back in person.
We're back. We're back in person. We've got the government tracking devices in our arm.
Well, on also the point, like, those of you listening to this
or watching,
start creating, because then people ask me, how do you do it, Claudio? Like, because I got a family, wife, and kids and responsibilities, but you've also got to find a balance. You have to find a balance. It's so easy. In fact, like right now, I mean, I don't want, like, I would say, I'm going to mention that, like, we have our Adobe challenges, and like right now is like the digital citizenship one. But there, I did my own, and one of the things, like, I noticed as a practice is I looked at my phone to see how much I'm on the phone.
Oh, okay. Like your screen time?
The screen time. And I was like, holy cow, that, like, percentage-wise went up. And again, I'm checking Twitter for Adobe content and following people and shout out to people that are doing some great things, educators in the classroom and students. But then I thought, I need to, like, find a way to balance. So I'm more in moments with folks. And so find a balance in whatever way. Just find a balance. Create the content, but also find balance, because you can get burned out.
Yeah. And at the same time,
you will get burned out.
And you will burn your family out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a point where I remember recording a virtual podcast probably about 4 years ago. Recorded it in the evening, because that's usually when people with families have time. They put the kids to bed, and then it's all right. I'm available after 9. Okay, cool. Let's do this podcast. It shouldn't take more than 20, 25 minutes. Yeah, that turns into 45 or 50.
Yeah.
And then there's the editing, and then there's the creating the thumbnail.
Yeah.
You got to create the show notes, and then scheduling it on whatever podcast platform app that you're using for hosting services and that. And then I found myself like 12:30, 1 o'clock on a Tuesday evening, getting this all together. I didn't even get a chance to say goodnight to my wife and kids. Yeah. So there's that balance. And then in order to have a balance, you got to have a schedule, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty dang sure Claudio's got a fixed recording schedule, right?
Yeah, for the most part I do.
Yeah.
But I already have, and I have it streamlined, so templates.
Oh my gosh.
I duplicate, and I basically swap out video files. I already have my thumbnails in templates, and then I have the copy already set up, and I just paste it and then just edit. And so what used to take me a process of from filming to editing at the start, I mean it 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
Now it's I can probably get it all done within an hour now. Hour and a half. Maybe.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So,
that's productivity right there.
Yeah, and it's just it's I've got the process down. And then you start to learn your audience that they want shorter content, short form. And so now I'm just I'm taking content that I created on YouTube, and I'm reshooting it because I'm shooting it now in vertical format.
Yeah.
But basically taking the content and just making short 1 minute or short videos on how to do it. And it's really quick, and a lot of people can get it.
Yeah.
But I also put a link if you want the full tutorial. We'll watch it over here. So
yeah, I'm starting to do that with cooking as well. Yeah.
Thanks for the donuts too. It's like I didn't grab breakfast because we started at 6:30.
Yeah, it was no joke. And then you probably went to sleep pretty late last night too, right?
Yeah. I stayed up for the game, and it was not the result I wanted.
It was not favorable for us.
Yeah, so we'll it's a 4 game. It's whoever wins 4 games. So it's still.
That's what I love about baseball is you can have a bad night and make up for it. The next 3 or 4 would have you. So, all right, man. I got to give you a quick question. Usually it's corn versus flour, but asada or pastor?
Oh man, one of each.
My type of answer.
Yeah,
my type of answer.
I like, man. Yeah, I love carne asada burritos. So flour. Carne asada burritos, from the taco stands in San Diego.
I haven't had breakfast, man.
This
sounds so good.
And then pastor tacos. Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I never thought about the burrito asada.
But I do carne asada tacos too, so it's just like
carne asada fries, carne asada everything, man.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, well, good luck to you and everything you're doing with Adobe over at TCCA. I'm going to go stop by the booth, and then we got to...
Yes, please do, yeah.
I should probably get ready for my session in a little bit.
I'm going to go get my... I already set up my room, but I just got to go put my computer in.
I haven't even set up my room, so I should probably go do that, man. All right, man, so to all you guys watching, listening, make sure you check out Claudio on all the socials. 30 seconds, brother. Plug all your socials right now.
You can find me on all the channels at Claudio Zavala Jr., and on YouTube, it's I Am Claudius. And then my website is iamclaudius.com. And from there, you can find me everywhere else as well.
And all those are going to be posted in the show notes, ladies and gentlemen. Check that out. Make sure you follow him. Make sure you get his content, learn from his content, and be inspired by his content.
Man, thank you.
Because you definitely inspire me.
Oh, man, thanks. I'm glad to hear that.
Padres all day, baby.
Hey, babe.
All right, man.
All right, man.